Well, hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my skincare routine, both my AM and PM skincare routine. Today's video is sponsored by Walmart as part of their Here for Every Beauty campaign. You guys know I am an avid Walmart shopper, and Walmart offers Dermatologist recommended skincare products, all of my favorites from CeraVe, Cetaphil, Avène. They also have a great selection of hair care products, including a diverse array of hair care products for people with curly hair or textured hair, and they have a ton of great beauty finds. I can't think of a single hair care or skincare product that I use and recommend that I can't find at Walmart. Everything that I use, you certainly can buy there, and I will list all the products that I am using in today's video in the description box for you guys. But getting into my skincare routine, I'm going to share with you starting out the PM routine first, because that is kind of the more involved part of my skincare routine. I take my shower at nighttime, and before I step into the shower, I like to start cleansing my face. I do a double cleanse, which means I start with an oil cleanser first and then follow it up with a gentle cleanser. I like doing this approach because using an oil cleanser or an oil-based cleansing product, whether it be an oil or a cleansing balm, which tends to just be an oil in a solid form, this helps to disrupt the film of cosmetics on the surface of the skin, as well as break up the film of water-resistant sunscreen. While I am not a makeup wearer, I do wear mascara, which you'll see later. I do wear sunscreen and water-resistant sunscreens, and I reapply sunscreen throughout the day. And so I like to use an oil cleanser to break all of that up. Doing this helps minimize the disruption to the skin barrier with cleansing. People often will gravitate towards like a makeup wipe or a makeup remover solution, a micellar water, or just a plain cleanser to remove cosmetics, and you end up having to rub quite a bit to break up that film. Going straight to an oil method is better because it hones in on the principle of like dissolves like, and that using an oil is going to break up the oily components of your cosmetics in that film. That's what I do and recommend, and there's even a paper that shows that that is actually one of the better ways to remove water-resistant sunscreen. Before I even get into the shower, I take the oil into my palm and spread it across my face, over my eyelashes. People get really fixated on what the best cleansing oil or cleansing balm is. And really, honestly, it doesn't matter. You're gonna wash it off anyway. I have been using for several months now the Neutrogena body oil, fragrance-free. And you may be going, oh my gosh, it's a body oil. Why would you use that to clean your face? Works quite well. It's an oil, and there's a little bit of an emulsifier in this, a polyethylene glycol compound that kind of helps it rinse off a little bit more easily. And you know, if I happen to get it on my clothes, it doesn't leave an oily residue. Anyways, I lather it all over my face and on my eyelashes, and you really don't need much. I mean, I've been using this for a long time, and I've made it through this, you know, a little over half of the bottle, but I've had this for a long time, so it lasts you a long time. And if you're using water-resistant sunscreen on your body to sun-exposed areas, as you should be, you can rub this all over those areas as well to remove that film. It works quite well. After spreading the oil across my face, my neck, over my eyelashes, on my body, if I've been wearing a lot of water-resistant sunscreen, I then step into the shower. I put my face under the running water, and I would say the majority of my mascara and sunscreen and then that oil, that stuff that's all broken up, rinses off. But I do like to do the second step of the double cleanse to make sure that I remove that. A cleanser I've used for years and love that I'm currently using is the CeraVe Foaming Face Cleanser. CeraVe is great. You can't go wrong with any of their products. They all have ceramides, which are helpful for the skin barrier. They formulate their cleansers really well, so they're not very irritating. That's what I use. I just spread it over my face, my neck, just a few gentle circles on my face and my neck, and then rinse it off. And you guys, that's exfoliating right there. People are under the impression that they need to scrub and do all these things to exfoliate their skin, but you're really facilitating the shedding of those corneocytes from the stratum corneum just by the gentle circular motion of your finger pads, the water running over your skin. This is part of exfoliating already. Let's talk about what I do to my body in the shower. That sounds weird. In the shower, I actually do not use body washes. I haven't used body washes for years. Body washes are mostly just perfumey detergent that can dry out your skin. You really don't need to use body wash or soap except to areas that are obviously visibly soiled, and to areas where you have skin folds, like under the armpits, the groin area, maybe the rear end and the back if you have acne on those areas. There's no need to use soap on your legs, your arms, and your back unless you have acne. There's really no need to. You end up over drying the skin, and most consumers use way too much soap or body wash when they do this. But that being said, what do I use to clean my body in areas of skin folds? I use the CeraVe. I'm currently using the CeraVe Acne Foaming Cleanser. You're like, oh my gosh, you're using a face wash on your body. I've used this or Panoxyl's benzoyl peroxide wash. They're similar. I'll list it down below as well. I mean, it's like, pick which one if you wanna do this. But the reason I like using this is because benzoyl peroxide is anti-inflammatory, it's anti-acne. So if you have body acne, it's great for that purpose. And I love using it specifically under my armpits. I lather it there, leave it on the skin for a few minutes, and then rinse it off. Why do I do this? Because the antibacterial properties in this will help with the skin microflora in the armpit and anywhere else on the body where you're using this, particularly in areas of skin folds. And because of that, it will help reduce body odor. We smell bad because we sweat, and the bacteria that live on our skin break down that sweat. Certain bacteria, like Staph hominis, they have certain enzymes that are actually responsible for that foul odor of body odor. And using a benzoyl peroxide wash can help in controlling body odor. I actually end up not really needing to use antiperspirant much at all. And I live in a very hot, humid climate. That being said, I'm not somebody who sweats a lot anyway, but what I'm getting at is if you're dealing with body odor, this is a good product to incorporate into your skincare routine. It's also great if you are dealing with acne on the body. You can lather it to the body sites where you have acne, leave it on the skin for a few minutes, and then rinse it off. But if I have been outdoors all day, which really never happens, if I were outside all day, say I had a yard and I was out working in the yard, I was covering a lot of dirt and pollen and all sorts of stuff, then I would use body wash to the rest of my body that was, visibly soiled. And the body wash I would recommend is the CeraVe Hydrating Body Wash or their bar soap. I will list those down below. They are great. Again, you don't need a ton, just a little bit. Okay. So what do I do? This is a part of my skincare routine that always puzzles people. I don't use towels. I stopped using towels years ago. So after I turn off the water in my shower, I stand there for a little bit and I put my hair up in what I call a t-shirt towel. Basically, I just take an old t-shirt and wrap my hair up in that. I wring most of the water out of my hair first, so it's not like sopping wet. And while I'm standing in the shower, most of the water has already dripped off of my body and my skin is just damp at this point, and it's dripped off into the tub. I'm standing in the tub at this point. And at that point, I put body lotion or a moisturizer on my body while I'm standing there, while my skin is still damp. The reason I do that is that body moisturizers, or moisturizers in general, they really work best when applied to the skin while it's still damp. because they will help lock in the water better into your skin and reduce water loss that comes with bathing, especially if you have used soap or if you have just shaved. As a side note, I don't have to really shave my legs or underarms because I had laser hair removal long ago, but if you shave, definitely follow it up with a moisturizer to reduce dryness and irritation from the act of shaving. Same thing, if you use body wash, you really need to follow that up with a moisturizer. It just disrupts the lipid barrier quite a bit and can lead to dryness. And of course, if you have eczema or a dry skin condition, this is paramount to your skincare routine, using a body moisturizer. So I go ahead and put it on while I'm standing there, and it's not cold. I mean, it's never really cold here in Houston, but in my shower, it's still steamy and warm at this point. So I'm not freezing, I'm not uncomfortable. But yeah, I put the moisturizer on like my extremities, my legs, my arms. In terms of the body moisturizer that I use, I'm currently using the Vaseline Intensive Advanced Repair. Is this a lotion? Yeah, lotion. I've used their jelly cream as well, both great. The reason I like these for my body in particular is that they have petrolatum in them, so that really locks in water. Petrolatum is an ingredient that's best for reducing what's called transepidermal water loss. I mean, no ingredient compares to petrolatum, so I really like using it, especially on my body. You can use it on the face as well, and this is a wonderful product, pretty affordable, works well. I also obviously love CeraVe's moisturizing cream, their lotion. I use those as well. Any moisturizer by Eucerin is also a great choice. I digress. Yeah, at this point, my skin is still a little damp. I'm a little slippery in terms of my skin. Like, I don't want to put my clothing on at this point, but I'm mostly dry. I'm not gonna get water all over my floor at this point. So I go ahead and step out of the shower, and I stand on a bamboo mat. And I think that makes a huge difference. Bamboo is a great bath mat, by the way. You should have a bamboo bath mat. They don't harbor mold like a fabric one. They last a lot longer, and they're kind of elevated up off the floor. So if you are a little bit damp still, the water can go underneath the mat, and then you can easily lift it up and clean underneath versus the mat soaking up the water. I love them. Anyways, I stand on the bamboo mat. I'm still a little damp at this point, but I've got body moisturizer on and my face is damp. So I go ahead and put on my facial moisturizer right away. And I'm currently using Cetaphil Night Moisturizer, the redness relieving night moisturizer. I've talked about this in numerous videos, including my video on best products for dealing with redness. This is great. You don't have to necessarily be coping with redness to appreciate this and to benefit from it. It's a fragrance-free facial moisturizer with licorice root, which can calm down redness, is anti-inflammatory, so if you're coping with a lot of irritation, it can help with that. It's also very good if you are dealing with hyperpigmentation. Licorice root can have a bit of a brightening effect. I talked about it in my video on best products or ingredients for hyperpigmentation. Yeah, multifunctional ingredient and pretty easy to tolerate, doesn't cause irritation or anything like that. Beyond that, this also has ceramides in it, which can help glue your skin barrier to start making its own ceramides, which are an important part of keeping everything in check and reducing water loss from the skin and just helping the health of your skin. And it also has panthenol in it. Panthenol is an ingredient that is great for calming down inflammation. It can smooth out wrinkles. It's very hydrating. It's a wonderful humectant and emollient. I have a video dedicated to it. And this also has shea butter in it, a wonderful moisturizer for locking in hydration and reducing transepidermal water loss. And by the time I put that on, my body is completely dry. I typically get dressed at this point, my pajamas, because this is nighttime. And after I get dressed in my pajamas, I will typically put on CeraVe Healing Ointment onto my lips. And I highly recommend it if you have lips. The petrolatum in this, of course, will reduce water loss. You also have hyaluronic acid in this product and ceramides. Now, the hyaluronic acid will actually help hold on to a little bit of water in your skin and kind of plump up the lips and smooth out little fine lines and wrinkles on your lips. This product does a lot for very little money. It's a very cost-effective product. It also has panthenol in it. Again, like I said with Cetaphil, that's a great ingredient for not only acting as an emollient to smooth out surface skin cells, but it's also very hydrating. I've been using this for years. I swear by it. And you can put it to other areas of the body where you have really dry, rough skin. I like using it on my elbows, my knees, for example. Yeah, it's a great, versatile product, and I highly recommend it. The next step in my skincare routine is kind of the only active ingredient I really mess around with, and that is tretinoin, which is a prescription retinoid. So you have to have a prescription to obtain it, but I will suggest some alternatives that are available over the counter, which of course you can buy at Walmart. In the case of prescription tretinoin, it's retinoic acid, which we have the most data on. I mean, it's been around the longest, so we have a lot of long-term data on it, but we have good data on other ingredients that you can buy over the counter as well, so I will share those with you in a moment. But yeah, you know, I get a lot of questions about when to put it on and whatnot. You'll notice I put my moisturizer on first. I always do that because I like to put moisturizer on after cleansing right away, always. To reduce irritation and dryness in the skin. And the instructions on any topical retinoid will typically tell you to clean the skin and pat it dry and put the product on. I don't do that, and I don't advise patients to do that because I find that it increases irritation quite a bit. Because when you cleanse the skin or get it wet, you disrupt the skin barrier, and that's kind of a setting the stage for excessive irritation. And then you go putting topical vitamin A, whatever the form, on that, you're more likely to have irritation. People have concerns around putting it on top of moisturizer that it won't penetrate, but we actually do have studies showing that, in fact, the endpoints of using topical retinoid are achieved when applied after moisturizer. So I make sure that my moisturizer has fully dried and absorbed. My skin's no longer damp. There's not like globs of moisturizer anywhere. It's like completely dry. You can see here what it looks like. People always want an exact time on this, and I can't give that to you. It's going to depend on, you know, the ambient humidity in your environment and whatnot. But yeah, I will then put tretinoin on. Many forms of vitamin A will degrade with exposure to ultraviolet light, so it's just best to put it on at nighttime. And you actually can wait until like right before you get into bed to put it on. Just make sure it dries fully before you get into bed. So it doesn't rub off on your sheets. But yeah, I just use a tiny pea-sized amount. I avoid getting it around my eyes. It can cause excessive irritation around those areas. I don't put it on my neck because the neck has fewer oil glands and it is a lot thinner than the skin of your face. So it's more prone to irritation. So I don't use it there, but yeah, I mean, I've been using it for several years now. So yeah, that's basically my nighttime routine. Alternatives to prescription retinoic acid that you can buy over the counter are going to be adapalene. Now, adapalene, or differin, is a naphthalene derivative of retinoic acid. You're like, what the heck does that mean? It binds to slightly different receptors, but it is similar to retinoic acid, has a different structure. It's much less irritating. We have the most data for using it for acne, but we have some newer studies now showing that it can improve some of the visible signs of aging. So this is my go-to recommendation for an over-the-counter topical vitamin A. However, another one that's really good, and I have recommended in several videos, is the Neutrogena Rapid Wrinkle Repair Regenerating Cream. They have a version that has fragrance and one that's fragrance free. I would suggest getting the fragrance free version. It will be less irritating. Yeah, this is a fantastic product to use in a similar fashion. The next step is the most important step, and that is I go to sleep. Seriously, sleep has tremendous benefit to the health of your skin. Sleep helps in all aspects of your life: cognition, mood, longevity. The skin is a window to what is going on inside the rest of your body. It looks its best when you have been getting adequate sleep. Shoot for 8 hours. All right, the AM routine is much less involved because I don't have a lot of time in the morning. I don't wash my face in the morning. You certainly can. I get many questions. Do you need to wash your face in the morning if you've applied topical retinoid or retinol at night? You do not. Sometimes it's advised to do that because you're rinsing it off and maybe you're reducing the duration of contact with it, so it's less irritating. That's certainly fine. I don't do that. So I just start the day with sunscreen. Currently, I am using the Image Prevention Daily, is that called? Daily Ultimate Protection SPF 50. This product is a combination sunscreen. It has zinc, octinoxate, and octisalate. So by combination, I mean you have a mineral active ingredient and you have some chemical active ingredients to yield a product that delivers broad spectrum protection. This is one that I've been using kind of all summer. I got it a while ago. I like it actually. I really like how it looks on my skin. It doesn't have fragrance listed, but it has a weird grape bubblegum type odor. Yeah, so there's that. It doesn't last, it doesn't linger on the surface of the skin. So if you're bothered by scents, you know, it doesn't have that. I encourage everybody to film themselves putting on sunscreen, watching it back. You will get better and better at putting it on because you'll appreciate how many skip areas that you may have. A lot of people forget to put it around their eyes. They forget to put it on the sides of their face. They don't put it on their ears. Maybe they don't remember to put it on their neck. So make sure you cover all surfaces. I start every day doing that. But other sunscreens that I'm also currently using and love, I love this Copper Tone Defend and Care oil-free SPF 50. This is really good. Unlike the Image skincare sunscreen, this is water resistant, so it's really good on a hot, humid day, which is pretty much every day. It stays in place and doesn't sweat off as readily. This video is not gonna be an exhaustive review of sunscreens. I've got tons of videos on that, but another one that I'm currently using and have used for years and always enjoyed is the Neutrogena Clear Face. Now this one does have oxybenzone in it, and if it gets in my eyes, it stings a lot, but it doesn't burn or sting putting it on the skin. But I've always enjoyed both of these and they're pretty affordable as well. So if you're on a budget, these are good options. I typically put the sunscreen that I'm using on my face and my ears down all the way onto my neck and my upper chest often. But using sunscreen on my body, it varies depending on what I'm going to be wearing. I primarily rely on clothing to protect me from the sun. I wear a lot of UPF 50 fabrics, long sleeves, gloves, pants. So I don't tend to expose my skin to the sun much, but I do enjoy wearing shorts. And so what I've been using for my body to sun exposed areas, and I highly recommend, is the Eucerin Daily Hydration Cream. I've talked about this in other videos, but it's wonderful because it absorbs into the skin really quickly. It's not greasy or sticky. That is not a pleasant feeling. So it's great for that. And it's just a nice everyday moisturizer for your skin, and it happens to have sunscreen in it. So that's what I've been using a lot lately. Again, I am mostly inside. Then another product that I like to take with me on the go for skincare is my Eucerin Daily Hydration Hand Cream. This is very similar, if not identical, to the body cream. It's just a smaller tube, and I end up putting this on my hands a fair amount because I'm washing my hands all day, and so I like to reapply sunscreen and moisturizer, and this serves both functions. It's really a good one. I also put sunscreen on my lips. That is an area that you cannot forget and is frequently forgotten. I have always used the Vanicream SPF 30 Lip Protectant. This is the best in my opinion. Like, I don't mess around with others because it really keeps your lips hydrated. A lot of lip balm sunscreens I find incredibly drying and irritating. This goes on white. But it does fade down to this like pinky look, and to me it looks nice. And I love this, strongly recommend it. It's what I use every day. And then, not a skincare product, but a beauty product, I love I always come back to this. It's my favorite mascara. This is the only makeup I really wear. It's a Maybelline Colossal. This is the shade Glam Black. It does not flake, it does not smear, it stays in place. This is not water resistant. They do make a water resistant one. That's my skincare routine. Again, I will list all of these products down below for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you, Walmart, for sponsoring today's video. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.